Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jack. I'm the Microsoft BDM at Ingram Micro. Thank you for joining today's webinar. The webinar will begin shortly. Thank you. Yeah, we'll just wait for a few more minutes before 2 o'clock, and the webinar will begin shortly. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Jack. I'm the Ingram Micro Microsoft BDM for the OEM and FPP software and peripheral hardware. I'm very excited, and thank you for joining today's Microsoft webinar session. And I'm very excited to have Ashley from Microsoft, who is the Microsoft. I've lost the word. Sorry, Microsoft. Ashley, sorry, your title is actually the
You're a commercial master trainer.
Commercial master trainer. That's the word. Yes. Sorry about that. Yeah, so he's actually, we have Ashley here to present to us on the latest Microsoft products, which is the Windows 11 and Office 2021. If you have any questions during the presentation, please put your questions into the chat box and we'll answer them at the end of the session. We will have time for Q&A. And also, don't forget, apart from getting valuable knowledge from this webinar, there's going to be a chance to go into a draw to participate in our upcoming cocktail making session. So participation is the key, and we'll let you know the details once at the end of the session. Ashley, over to you.
Awesome, thank you, and welcome to everybody that is joining on. I know it's been a really busy period of time, and so I appreciate joining the call. Hopefully you take a few things away today, and as Jack said, I'm the commercial master trainer for Australia and New Zealand, And we've got a lot to go through today. Hopefully, you're a little bit aware of some of the products we've just recently released, including Windows 11, as well as Office 2021. So, like I said, we've got a few things to cover through, and some will power through a little bit faster than others. But we're really going to cover these areas where we've made these areas of investment. And summarizing, particularly when you're talking to customers or organizations, helping you chart a path forward towards Windows 11, because there's a great deal of benefits. And even prior to the start of this call, we were talking about a few of the new things and some things that are coming shortly. And a lot of it is very exciting. But as you'd understand, hybrid work is here to stay. And obviously, if you've been paying attention to the news recently, of course, we still have a lot of uncertainty in in the business world and within our the global the global community, as the pandemic sort of charts its own course per se. But and some of that, we know that particularly managers say that they expect more flexible work from home policies post-pandemic. And then we've got 73% of employees wanting flexible remote work options to stay. But at the same time, 67% of employees want more in-person work or collaboration post-pandemic. And so we have a couple of questions to ask, and that includes, what do businesses need from their technology platform to help employees be productive and also thrive in today's hybrid work styles? But also, what do they need to help keep data and access protected? And of course, keeping in mind, they don't want to also further complicate their IT management. And all of it obviously creates a little bit of a, even these push and pull of remote work options, but wanting more of that in-person collaboration, we create a bit of a paradox. And of course, if the past year or nearly 2 years now has taught us anything, it's that organizations have to be resilient. You have to have business goals that achieve, you need those goals to achieve, and also customers to engage, and technology has been more critical to resilience than ever before. The pandemic, it's accelerated digital transformations in ways never before imagined. And we're also pretty honored and humbled that so many of you choose Windows, as the platform for that transformation. And the pandemic introduces a number of different challenges to organizations. And of course, Windows is the secure platform on which so many customers use M365, Microsoft Teams, line of business apps, and so much more to get work done. I'm just seeming to have a little bit of a problem on my end. Sorry, just keep.
Yeah, we can hear you now, Ash.
Okay, cool. I'm just having a bit of a problem with my machine at the moment. This is what I get for running a pre-dev version of my operating system. Just for a moment, and I'll just see if I can restart this out.
Well, Ash actually restart his machines. Just a reminder that the attendees, if participation is the key, so we will be having a lucky draw for our upcoming cocktail making class. For those participants today who attend the full duration of this presentation, as well as if you have any questions or participating in some of the activities, you will go into the draw for the cocktail making class. That's what's happening towards mid of December. As part of the cocktail making class, we'll be sending you a kit on how to, and you will be in a meeting, that's like a virtual meeting or virtual call, where you can actually learn how to make some delicious cocktail. So yeah, I think Ash is back on board. Ash, you want to carry on?
Let's fingers crossed. Let's hope so. And this is you probably couldn't have made it. I guess it's any more appropriate of this is just some of the challenges within the hybrid world. I know that my internet has been hit and miss as well. We've got a lot of rain up here in Brisbane, which is not making that easy, but these are just some of the challenges, and this is why that resilience is so key. And of course, we announced Windows 11, which is about empowering, we want it to be empowering for employees. We want to enable them to get the job done and do it more efficiently, have them work smarter, not harder. And Windows 11 is adept at helping employees achieve what they need to do in smart ways. We've of course incorporated a light, fresh, modern interaction model, but also, as you'll see in a moment, it is so familiar at the same time. But we want it to, so it remains natural and unobstructive. Consistency is also what you're focused on for IT who need to deploy and support employees. They will find that many of the same technologies they've been using on Windows 10 continue to work with Windows 11. And so you can think of the move from Windows 10 to Windows 11 has been more of an update rather than a major upgrade, such as, say, the process which organizations had to go through to move from Windows 7 to Windows 10. And so, of course, we made it easier to work with, but at the same time, more secure. And because we all know just how important security and protection are today. And so we have designed Windows for hybrid work. It's empowering for employees, familiar for IT, and of course, secure for all. And here's just a snapshot of what Windows 11 means to businesses. And we'll go into some of these with a little bit more detail. So of course, being instantly productive. We've made investments from a Microsoft perspective to deliver more powerful, productive experiences with Windows 11. We've got that, like I just mentioned, that light, fresh, modern interaction model that's most notably seen in areas like the new centered start and taskbar content. We've simplified the system tray and also the quick settings. The experiences, we really wanted to try and make it effortless, have it be a little bit more calm with that softer, decluttered system that feels warm and approachable. We want it to be personal so you can adapt it seamlessly to how you use your device. And of course, coherent from the operating system to the apps that run on it. We want them to work seamlessly together. And of course, we want it to be familiar. We want to minimize or have no learning curve so you can pick it up and instantly get to work. And of course, we've got additional elements of the design language that are reflected. So we've got new rounded corners, customers see across the user experience and apps as well. We've got things that allow you to be organized by keeping those important apps and information at hand. So with Snap Layouts, you can have also Snap Groups that automatically keep your window layout saved in that perfect arrangement across screens to easily pick up where you left off. You can choose from either multiple predefined arrangements that work with your screen resolutions and orientation as well. So if you've got a device that has an ultra wide display, it's going to show you customizations or a snap layout that's tailored to that display. Or if you're using a tablet device in portrait mode, it's going to arrange those apps that are suitable for that orientation and that screen resolution. And of course, something that I'm probably assuming we've all done at some point is docking and undocking from an external screen. And if you've been working from home, that could be plugging into a screen in the study or in the kitchen table to move to another room. Or if you're in the office, disconnecting from the one at your desk and jumping into a meeting room and connecting to another display. And if you've got your apps laid out exactly how you want them across those multiple displays, it's going to keep that arrangement and not disrupt it when you unplug. It's going to minimize those apps altogether onto the taskbar. So it doesn't disrupt what's also going on your laptop display. But when you sit down and plug back into that that screen, it's going to throw those apps back up exactly where they were. So you minimize that time that you're taking to rearrange everything, and it just allows you to get back into your work.
Ash, you there? We've lost you again, I think. Yeah, apologies, apologies everyone. It seems like Ash is having a bit of a problem at the moment. Once again, just a reminder, participation is the key. So if you have any questions, please during the webinar, please feel free to put in the chat box, and we'll answer them at the end of the session. And also, if you have any opportunities or projects that you are working on, feel free to get in touch with myself. My name is Jack. I'm the Microsoft BDM here at Ingram Micro. So I'll put my details in the chat box, and you'll be able to get in touch with me for any opportunities or any questions. I'm just going to throw questions out to the participants on this webinar. Is any one of you still have any of clients still using Windows 7s by any chance? Because as you know, that Windows 7's already been end of support since 2019, so it's been a couple of years since they're out of support. It's definitely now is the time to push to upgrade to the latest Windows 11, which also allows you to sell brand new hardware. We do have a lot of promotions running at the moment with the latest Windows 11 machines, as well as Office bundles. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and I'll organize some special pricing for you guys.
Okay, I am back. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Ash. Yep.
I can't hear anything. Oh, just testing again. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. So let me share my screen again. I've changed machines and I'm running off a hotspot just to try and eliminate what is happening. So if you can see, and I'm just going to confirm, can you see my desktop?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. All right. So sorry for the delays, but this is also a really good chance to hopefully show just that how some of the new features of Windows 11 works. Not in the way that I'd probably ideally have it, but within Windows 11. So I've just moved from one device to another, and this machine has only just connected back into the internet and seen what has changed. And what I can instantly see within my recommended folders are the two latest PowerPoint presentations that I was viewing. This one is the document that I was just showing you. The other one is the one that I'll be showing you in a moment. And this is one of the powerful things from Windows 11 is that it will follow you and leverage Microsoft 365, your OneDrive capabilities, and surface those files that are important to you to the places that, exactly to the device that you're using. So this is and it's just opened up onto my second screen. And so it means that even if you're viewing a document on your phone, you've received an email with a presentation or a PDF document about a deal, you can pick that up and see exactly where and leave off exactly from where you were. So this is a document I'm on, so I can now throw that back up into the presentation mode, and hopefully we don't have any other issues, but we'll see.
Looks like we might have lost Ash again. We have received a couple of questions from the participants. One was being we have clients who are still on Windows 7 ESUs with Windows 10 licenses. Is there a path to upgrade directly from Windows 7 to 11? We'll come back to you on this question. On this one once Ash is back online. And another question is, will Microsoft integrate a remote desktop solution to replace MSTSC.X along the lines of virtual VPN? Yeah, thank you for that question. We'll also get back to you on this one at the end of the session. Thank you. Yeah, don't forget, if you have any other questions, please feel free to put that in the chat box. Seems like Ashley's having a bit of a technical problems. I'm not sure whether it's the internet or whether it's the weather up in Brisbane is affecting the internet. We'll give it a couple more minutes. In the meantime, if you do have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat box, and we'll answer them accordingly if I know the answer to them. And if you have any other opportunities, like I said, I'll put in my contact details, which is jack.wong@ingrammicro.com. If you feel free to ping me with any opportunities or any issues that you have, I'll gladly to get in touch with you, and we can organize some sort of arrangement for you. Once again, apologies for this unfortunate technical difficulties. I think Ashley is doing his best to get back online. Actually, it looks like he might be back online soon.
Okay, all right, I'm back.
Ashley, back on.
Sorry,
Okay.
everyone. All right, let's see how we go. I haven't had this happen of all the training sessions, everything I've run. I've never had this happen before, where it's let me down on multiple different machines. So fingers crossed we're okay from here. But so you kind of saw before PowerPoint wanted to. I think it's PowerPoint, maybe, I don't know. Well, I'll have to look into this after. But what you could see was how OneDrive allowed me to pick up exactly from where I left off. I've just used that feature again, and that's how I'm back up and running on a third machine now. And it's all about wanting to make sure that it has that. We've had the wrong type of consistency right in this very instance, but that's me running also pre-release software. But going further is that it allows you to exactly pick up from where you left off. It's about making things easier for you to access, easier for you to pick up, no matter what device you're using. Of course, on Windows 11, you can create custom desktops, and unlike before, or even extending what we've done previously, you can have custom desktops for each project, or even separate desktops for your work and personal life, depending on how you use your machines. Of course, you can have the separate desktops in those windows to group those apps together and have particular settings. You can personalize each desktop with its own wallpaper and layout. Of course, you can have apps opened and arranged in those snap groups. And you can access those by a simple right click from, or sort of access from that taskbar, or even swiping 4 fingers across your screen if you have a touchscreen device. Of course, you can also work the way that you want. So Windows 11 brings new tablet experiences. People can get a more fluid experience across touch and on-screen keyboards. So you can have those quicker actions with touch or pen, and a redesigned, customizable on-screen keyboard, and of course, enhanced inking. So you can have that touch keyboard personalization. So just like you've grown used to with different mobile devices, you have those improved touch gestures, you have the swipe keyboard as well. So if you want a smaller keyboard or a larger keyboard, you can have that personalization there for you that matches exactly what you want. Of course, we have a pen menu that allows you to dive in. So if you have that digital pen, you can have those buttons, or even that pen icon in the bottom right, open and select key apps that you use all the time. And of course, we have the device with voice dictation, and this has improved significantly. Our new launcher as well, it's quick and easy for you to start voice typing in any selected text field. It's off by default, but you can turn it on within the settings and place it anywhere on your screen, and you can effortlessly, not as easy as I'm trying to pronounce effortlessly, but type a document or write an email without a keyboard. And of course, it will integrate the punctuation there for you. So you don't have to worry about saying hi, comma, great to see you today, full stop. It will naturally insert that grammar for you. And of course, we have personalized widgets for you, so you can personalize and stay on top of what's important with you with personalized aggregated content, including calendar tasks, weather and news, as well as different things that are important to you. You can hide those particular news sources. You can have other content that's just not relevant to you taken away, and so you can personalize that exactly to the sources and the things that you love. And I see that in here as well. So this is where I have my top stories. You can see the severe storm warning. We had a flood warning earlier. I can see what my meeting right now, and of course the latest score on the Lakers versus the Kings. So you can have what's important to you, and of course your news stories down further as well. And of course, with Microsoft Edge, we want it to be the fastest browser. And it works seamless with M365 as well. So you can streamline that workday. You can turn every new tab into a portal for that productivity. You can access your Office apps quickly. You can also utilize built-in Microsoft Search. You can also work with older Internet Explorer-based apps and websites using Microsoft Edge. So you can enable IE mode, and there's no need to open a separate browser. So that's great for customers that are still pulling along with some IE-based applications and sites internally. So you can support that within Edge. And of course, you've got a wide range of performance and world-class compatibility, but also powerful protection that we've built in. It's built on Chromium, the open source engine that you might know Google Chrome is operated off in a wide range of different browsers, but this one is we've backed it with our Microsoft security and innovation. So Edge takes advantage of M365 security experiences without the need for additional software. And it's got a number of great things built in. Even for myself, I was doing a little bit of Christmas shopping, and it has a built-in coupon scanner for. So I was able to. It goes, hey, you've got these 10 coupons available, and it will automatically try each of those coupons to see which one's valid for my card. It's not necessarily strictly work related, but for those purchases that you might be making during business hours, it's certainly a handy thing to have. So hopefully we can sort of these PowerPoint crashes, but I want to move on to another area which you've probably heard a lot of around collaboration. And so online meetings, just like what we're doing, and probably will increasingly become hybrid, of course, with some people in the office and others aren't. And we really wanted to find a way to improve video conferencing and make it a little bit smarter as well. So things are, we're using GoToMeeting right now. I use Teams almost every single day. We'll occasionally use Zoom, depending on what customers and partners are using, of course. And there's a few things that are really important in how we make that easier than ever before. And I might just quickly stop this presentation just to highlight the mute and unmute. So right here in the bottom right, you can see on my desktop that it's telling me that the little microphone is saying, hey, GoToMeeting is using your microphone. And if I simply click that, oh, it's not on this build. Okay. So when you click on that button, it will automatically mute regardless of what application that you're using. So this is a feature that's coming shortly. It has been in testing for us, and every now and again the build will come and take it out. We're just playing with a few different implementations, but it means that you don't have to remember exactly where that mute button is in every single different app, because as you very well know, it moves around a lot into different apps. They haven't standardized where that happens. So having it happen from your taskbar means that you're in control. It doesn't matter what app you're using, you can have that control over how that works. And of course, we want you to have that persistent or that ability to present apps and files in an instance. So from your taskbar, you'll be able to just hover over an app and share that directly. So for us, obviously, our prime example is sharing within Teams. So if you're on a Teams meeting, of course, you can then share that straight into the meeting without needing to jump through that sharing screen as well. So this is another feature that's coming shortly, and we just want to get it just right. And but yeah, this is going to work across apps as well. They just need to build that into their API and make that available. And yeah, it's a very powerful feature. I use it a lot within our, within internally, and it just streamlines, and you can start sharing, stop sharing, and it kind of removes that need to go, can you see my screen? Because, well, I know that button has been hit. And of course, we want to make sure that people can engage and participate in video calls with a lot more ease, whether at the office or in home, making that hybrid work experience more inclusive. So we can cut down that background distraction. So built into the operating system, we have the intelligent noise cancelling and blur. for the background. So it doesn't rely on the app, it relies on the operating system to be able to do that. And it also reduces your performance overhead because the operating system's doing it natively rather than an application trying to work over the top and provide that capability.
Ash, we lost you a little again. We lost audio.
Can you hear me now? Is it, are we back?
Yep, you're back.
Okay, all right.
I
So
think due to time constraint, I just want to make sure that if we can jump onto the office part, if it's possible.
sure, I'll just finish off this particular point here
Yep.
around consistency, because this is a really important part for the Windows 11 rollout and planning. A lot of customers, and I think, I'm not too sure if I've heard some of the questions correctly, but even that migration from Windows 7 to Windows 11, the easiest way to do that is to actually upgrade to Windows 10 and just roll out that Windows 11 build to, or that update to Windows 11 when you're ready. Of course, it just falls part of that same way you manage Windows 10 updates today. And the key thing will just be ensuring that those Windows 7 devices are able to run Windows 11. We do have some key hardware requirements, and that's primarily around security, but also around performance. And you'll kind of, hopefully we'll have some more detail to dive into, but we can always touch base after this as well if we run out of time. But we just wanted to, for Windows 11, we wanted to make sure it's as easy as possible to deliver Windows 11 whilst even keeping other machines on Windows 10. Windows 11 is built on that same foundation as Windows 10 to allow us to do that. And when we deliver 21H2 for Windows 10, which will be coming out very shortly, or rolling out at the moment, there will be also some features that are backported from Windows 11 to Windows 10 that are related to that manageability and security, but not the user experience. And so many of those existing tools that organizations and customers are already using, as well as just best practices for servicing Windows 10, will still apply for Windows 11. So the best way to prepare for Windows 11 is just simply making sure you're up to date on your analytics, your management tools, and of course, your servicing infrastructure, so you can easily move to Windows 11. And so, of course, when you're updating from any operating system to a new one, you want to update with confidence. And the way that we do this is by having a number of different ways. So obviously, the modern management is really a foundation of modern organizations and managing devices. And of course, we have Cloud Connect that are connecting into here. So this is where you can manage your Windows Update for business. You can test. You have those endpoint analytics. But also, we have the area to support customers where if there are any app issues with Windows 11, they can utilize App Assure, where that's a team within Microsoft that will work with you to resolve any compatibility issues, apply those remediation, and have those insights applied, and allowing you to push that out to the Microsoft Endpoint Manager that then also connects into your device management. And then that works in all within your autopilot and how you how your customers are utilizing it. So whether they're using on-prem, cloud, or even other providers, they will all support that upgrade to Windows 11. So particularly over, or what has happened for us over the American summer period, the management tools have been all updated to be fully supportive of Windows 11. So now that GA has hit, we should have full steam ahead and the ability for customers to start the deployment. And of course, scaling. So we've added thousands of new CSP settings into Windows 11 to help get just that little bit more control. Of course, organizations are wanting to manage their endpoints via modern management and to support growing remote workforces, and of course, removing the need of on-prem connectivity. So we've got a lot more to support in there. And of course, you can save tons of time for your customers by implementing things such as zero-touch device provisioning. So Windows Autopilot, it utilizes, I've set up a case within our team internally just for some testing. And so taking Windows, setting up an autopilot system and through the endpoint manager, and setting up for Windows 10, and then having a Windows 11 device plug into that and pull all that through, and it works seamlessly. There's nothing that really, if you of course you can fine tune it and take things further, obviously taking advantage of the CSP settings that we're providing for Windows 11. But if you just want to push your and not touch the autopilot rollout, you can do that and have both Windows 10 and Windows 11 devices, depending on when stock comes through, of course. So if you've got some Windows 10 devices going out or Windows 11 devices going out, they can live side by side. And of course, if they're utilizing things such as Azure Virtual Desktop, they will work. You can pin those to your taskbar and have them work natively. So I'm really conscious of time, and I know that we've had a lot of stop-start, a lot of false starts. So let me switch over to Office just quickly, because there's not too many huge things changing with Office for 2021. But of course, we've got some key things that you probably should be aware of, or some features that we've included that feel like we've had them for years. And in the reality, of course, with Microsoft 365, yeah, we've had those. But of course, when it comes to Perpetual, things have changed just a little bit. So let me load that up right now.
While Ashley is organizing the Office part of the webinar, for those people who have sent in questions to the chat box, we might be running out of time to actually answer them. So if you can email me your questions directly to my mailbox, which is once again is jack.wong, W-O-N-G, at ingrammicro.com, and I'll get back to you accordingly. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So I think we're good to go. Hopefully it's a little bit smoother with Office, but we'll really power through this because there are just some key things to go through. And the biggest takeaway is that we want Office, particularly for Perpetual, to be modernized. Just like what I touched on with Windows 11, the way that we do business, the way that we interact with partners and customers has totally changed. And Perpetual Office 2019 isn't necessarily a very collaborative operating or set of Office applications. It is very standalone, it is very siloed, and for a very good reason as well. That's what customers have wanted in the past. And of course, things have changed just a little bit in the last 2 years. And so that need to have the flexibility to collaborate if you choose, to ensure that you don't lose your work, and to be able to share and really just interact with your customers and partners in new ways is really important. And so, of course, we want to make sure that we're taking care of our customers. Things are moving forward. And just like Henry Ford says, if everyone's moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. And I think that's very true for us with Office. And so it's not the old Office anymore. We've had that shift toward hybrid and remote work, and we want Office Perpetual to work together with that. And so it builds in familiar productivity tools to help consumers stay organized, work together, and of course, create content like pros so they can move their business forward. And so we've updated it with that better collaboration and day-to-day productivity. So some questions that we still get around, well, why does Office 21 exist? Why does a perpetual license exist? And it's, well, we wanted to enhance performance. We wanted to build in new features that licensing in 2019 doesn't allow us to do. And so we've made changes and updates within and included our modern lifecycle policy that allows us to deliver features after going gold and security updates for a period of time. So some features will be introducing new, unlike previously, once that was feature locked, that's what was all that was provided. So in terms of just our layout for the Office lineup, so you're familiar with our M365 subscription. So we've got personal, family, and of course, business standard. Business standard being the commercial SKU. And then we have Office Home and Student, Office Home and Business. Home and Student, of course, is the non-commercial, and Home and Business is that commercial. And the commercial also not only has the appropriate licensing, but also includes Outlook. And so with the modern thinking in mind, it all comes back down to exactly what we're saying, how we wanted to have that safety, security through that one-time purchase. There are certainly customers that exist out there that have that need for that perpetual license, whether they want that simple licensing model where they just pay one fee up front, or whether even certain regulated industries also still have that need to have that FPP product. And so we want to provide that option to them. Kiosks, disconnected scenarios, each of those, this is where this particular product, even in a world of where we have a lot of cloud-based solutions, are very, where this is still very, very much relevant. And so we've got some key benefits through here. And these are just some of the features, like I said, might seem familiar to you, but that's because a lot of these features were rolled out into M365 as feature updates in the last few years. And so these features, if you're using M365, you've been using these for 3 to 4 years. So one of them is that ink replay. So that feature where you can illustrate step by step. So if you're showing someone how to do something, or if you're writing down notes, you can play back those steps as you go in real time or step by step. So that's a great way to give context to yourself and to, why on earth did I write this on the top right or the top bottom, or in what order? So that gives you that flexibility to do that, or to show to someone the steps that they need to follow. So that's available in Word, Excel, and also PowerPoint. We have that content library. So this is a way that if you're wanting to boost a little bit, inject a little bit of relevancy into whatever you're presenting, whether it's a fun PowerPoint or even just a product demonstration, and you need some imagery to bolster that, you can now utilize that content library. And this is part of that feature that's coming as part of that lifecycle policy update. Autosave. So every Microsoft account gets 5 GB of OneDrive storage, and this simply leverages on that. So autosave, we all know it. You can go through, see previous versions. It's always saving. So as long as you do that initial save, it's going to save that and all of those incremental updates that you do. So you can save it to Microsoft OneDrive, OneDrive for Business, or even SharePoint Online. And this is one of those features that it wasn't until I saw the feature, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. It's not in Office 2019, and yet I'm sure in our time of working cloud-based solutions, how many times have we lost a document because we forgot to save, or we lost hours of work because we forgot to save? Well, this is a feature now that we aim to resolve for even perpetual customers. Of course, for that collaboration, if you're working with a team, whether it's a small team within, it's a team, even with a team of 5, you might need to mention or draw attention to particular documents for people to see a call out or say, hey, I need your help with this. And now you can mention people and tag those people. Or even if you're working on a presentation deck with a customer and you want to ask them some questions in the document, well, you can do that now, and involve them in that process, or even work as part of their documents that they're sharing with you with your 21 license. Of course, you can assign tasks, and only you can assign that to people or mention people, but you can add that as a task to them as well. So particularly key if you've got a time crunch and you need to draw super attention and go, who's looking after that? You can do that now. And this all adds up to that real-time collaboration. So you can have multiple people working on that document, see what they're working on, and really build it together. So this is perfect where even in that small team of 5, you might not all be able to be in the office at once, or you might be in Australia, you know, we might be stuck in one state and the other one's stuck because the border issue has changed. And so this allows you to all be working on your own computer in your own location from that in real time. Of course, track and organize effortlessly. This is about not only just finding and tracking information, but leveraging data in new ways. And we've expanded some of those features within Excel and other areas. So Lookup, you can find what you need no matter what side of the that return column is. You can leverage and just find that data, particularly if you're working with large data sets. This is very, very useful. You can catch up. So again, within that real-time collaboration, if you've stepped away, if you've hopped on a plane and caught a flight, or you've gone to pick the kids up from school, you can now see and catch up what has changed within that document and see what has shifted, which is very, very useful, particularly if you've got again on that time crunch where you're needing to see what has happened or what hasn't happened on top. We've got dynamic arrays, again, just leveraging and going that little bit step further with how you can leverage that and analyze that data that you're working with. Of course, the flip side is we also want to make your business more accessible. So we're building the best-in-class apps with powerful cloud services that are leveraging or providing those greater built-in accessibility. So this leverages parts of the operating system. This leverages a whole heap of different factors to make sure that things are easy to read and also easy to understand for people with different abilities. So we have the immersive reader. So it's a new feature that improves the reading and writing comprehension for all members of the team, regardless of your age, language, learner status, or even ability. Of course, alt text, great for providing that descriptive text, provide context for a visual item in that digital setting, like what we're doing right now. So screen readers really utilize this alternate text. So if you do, if you're working or you're wanting to be more conscious of the information you're providing, these are tools available to ensure that all of the information is conveying to everybody that needs to see or hear about it. Of course, the accessibility ribbon that we've built in. So this is about going a little bit further to make sure that the content that you're making is easy to read for all abilities. And this is something that allows you to simply, whether it's before sending an email or even sharing a document or a spreadsheet, you can run through the check accessibility, and it will point out things that you can improve or areas that you should be more considerate of for different types of accessibility needs. So this is a great tool just to make sure that the content you're providing is appropriate. And of course, the dark mode. Now this sounds a little bit like, oh, we've had gray themes before in Office, and it's like, yes, it's true, but dark mode is actually a little bit different, where it has enhanced features that actually work great in low light conditions, low contrast themes as well, that not only helps with boosting battery life. So even if you've got a device that has an OLED display, that is really beneficial, but it also supports better accessibility as well. So this will contrast the right things rather than just providing a gray, a darker look. And it is something that you can also connect into your operating system. So if you're running Windows 11 or Windows 10 on dark mode, it will be reflected automatically in the Office app as well. So that's a really handy thing. So if you've got it dynamically changing between light and dark mode, it is something that is going to make it super easy to use. And of course, all of that brings together with that modern lifecycle policy. So it allows us to bring regular updates, offer features, as well as better support moving forwards. But I think that's all the time. I just want to leave a couple of minutes for some questions if we do have some. I appreciate all of you sticking with me. I know that it wasn't the smoothest today, but hopefully you were able to get something and take away some of the features that we've got in Windows 11, particularly around the consistency for IT. So I know that rolling out between operating systems is it's a big consideration, and previously a lot of planning has been required to support that move. But we're supporting, if an app runs on Windows 10, it's going to run on Windows 11, and you can run those two operating systems side by side. So as that stock or as your rollout moves forward, you can have those two exist side by side without impacting your IT team. But yeah, so Jack, were there any other questions that came through that we might be able to answer or hear before and not have to get back to at a later stage?
No, I haven't seen any other questions coming through, Ash. But for those people who have actually posted a question through the chat, if you can please send them to me directly, and we will actually have to get back to you at a later stage. For those people who attended this webinar, really appreciate taking your valuable time in joining us today with all these technical difficulties. Keep your eye out in your mailbox, in your email mailbox. Our marketing team will be sending you an email, confirmation email, if you are the winner to attend our cocktail making class, which is happening middle of December. We'll be sending you an email to confirm your delivery address. You can please keep an eye on that email. That'll be greatly appreciated. If there's no more questions, I'm conscious we are very close to time, so we'll call this the end of the webinar. Thank you everyone for attending. If you have any, like I said, if you have any further questions, please come to me directly. My email address is jack.wong@ingrammicro.com. Thank you.